Chosen ones, listen carefully. You were never hated because you were wrong. You were hated because your truth ruined their favorite lie. They didn't try to silence you because you were weak. They silenced you because your presence was proof of everything they pretended to be. You carried light into their darkness, and instead of healing, they panicked. They didn't destroy you because you failed. They destroyed you because you didn't break when failure was forced on you. They built traps, created fake stories, whispered rumors in shadows, but you still stood tall, confused yet undefeated. They called it karma when you fell, but it was sabotage. They called it coincidence when things vanished from your life, but it was calculated. Every delay, every betrayal, every lie, all part of the framing. And you, the pure soul, thought maybe it was your fault. But deep down, heaven was just setting the stage for this exact moment, the truth explosion. Now the same ones who laughed when you cried are waking up at 3 a.m. feeling sick. Not from guilt they can explain, but from the divine vibration of truth unraveling their deception. They can't eat, can't rest, can't look in the mirror, because the lie they built on your name has started rotting from the inside. Whisper, they framed you, and now every single one of them is sick to their stomach, because the truth they buried has started breathing again. They thought they could bury your name, but they didn't realize your energy was immortal. The truth doesn't die, it incubates. It waits for alignment, for divine timing, for justice wrapped in silence. And that time is now. You're not seeing coincidences. You're seeing correction. You're not being revisited by memories. You're being reminded of your innocence. The storm that once broke you is now sweeping through their lives. They're tasting the fear they once projected. Retention. Hook. But here's the twist. What's happening now isn't revenge. It's divine exposure. This isn't about payback. It's about proof. And it's bigger than anyone expected. The same mouth that lied will now be forced to confess. The same eyes that rolled will now witness your redemption. Pause, lower tone. The universe isn't angry, it's accurate. And when the truth aligns, even the devil gets dizzy. Comment prompt. Comment, the truth is exposing itself if you can feel the frequency of justice rising around you. Soft fade out, heartbeat like bass pulsing beneath the voice. This is your confirmation, chosen one. The truth doesn't chase, it manifests, and it's manifesting through you. They called you crazy. They called you manipulative. They called you dramatic. Not because you were, but because the truth you carried was too heavy for their lies to survive. They studied your light like scientists studying a threat. They watched how people trusted you, how your spirit drew attention, and they realized the only way to stop you was to stain your name. Chosen one, they didn't need to attack your body. They attacked your character. Because when people can't destroy your truth, they destroy your reputation. They started slow, small comments, little doubts, innocent jokes that carried poison. I don't know. Something about them just feels off. She's not who you think she is. He's different behind closed doors. Each lie was a seed. And the saddest part? Some of those seeds were watered by people you once prayed for. You didn't fight back, not because you were weak, but because you thought silence was peace. You believed God would handle it. You believed time would tell. And heaven heard that. Heaven wrote your silence as evidence. Because while they were busy speaking your name in vain, the universe was recording everything. Every word, every message, every fake story passed like gossip currency. They laughed while you cried. They celebrated your downfall as if your pain was entertainment. They pointed fingers, forgetting heaven keeps receipts. But here's the secret they didn't know. When a chosen one stays silent, that silence becomes divine subpoena. It's not weakness. It's documentation. Every time you walked away instead of reacting, the angels stamped a new page in your spiritual file. Every time you chose peace over proof, heaven said, good. Keep still. I'm building your case. Now that silence they mocked has become the soundtrack of their nightmares. Every gossip session they started is now echoing back. Word for word, Energy for energy. The same mouths that once smiled while lying are now trembling, trying to keep the story straight. They thought time would erase what they did. But time doesn't erase energy. It replays it. Whisper tone. Every lie whispered in rooms you never entered is now echoing in their lives like karma on replay. Their peace is gone. Their relationships are shaking. The same tactics they used against you are being used on them. That's the mirror effect. Heaven's justice doesn't need revenge. It just rewinds reality. And now, their empire, the one they built on your name, is collapsing on their conscience. They can't post the way they used to. They can't speak with confidence. Even their blessings feel heavy because they know they didn't earn them clean. Retention. Hook. They built their empire on your name, and now it's collapsing on their conscience. The foundation was fraud, and truth just hit demolition mode. Soft pause. Deep voice. Chosen one, you were never the villain. You were the vault. They just didn't have the key to your purity, so they tried to break the lock. But the lock held, and now their fingerprints are all over the scene. Heaven's timing is perfect. Your silence was your weapon, and now your peace is their proof of guilt. Comment prompt. Drop I stayed silent, but heaven recorded everything, if that's your story, because when God builds your case, no lie can survive the trial. Remember, you don't have to clear your name. Truth is already working overtime. Chosen one, you didn't realize it, but the moment they framed you, heaven started a private trial. There was no jury, no lawyers, no crowd, just you, your pain, and the judge of all truth. In the spiritual courtroom, you were never the defendant. You were the evidence. Your story wasn't being judged. Their intentions were. Every sleepless night became testimony. Every tear became proof. Every prayer you whispered into your pillow became your witness statement. They thought no one saw what happened behind those closed doors, but heaven did. Every betrayal was documented. Every manipulation was filed. And every false accusation was stamped pending divine judgment. While they were laughing, you were on trial, but not the kind they imagined. You were being measured for mercy, while they were being weighed in truth. Heaven doesn't need microphones or cameras. It needs vibration. Your pain vibrated louder than their lies. Your silence reached dimensions their gossip couldn't touch. They thought they got away with it, but spiritual law never expires. Energy is the witness that never forgets. And now the same people who threw dirt on your name are feeling the weight of the dirt they buried you under. It's in their chest. It's in their sleep. It's in their dreams. You see, divine justice doesn't need a courtroom. It creates one. And lately, those who wronged you are waking up at 3 a.m., not because of nightmares, but because the truth is cross-examining their soul. They're seeing your face in their dreams, hearing your voice in random moments, feeling the same loneliness they once laughed at. That's not coincidence. That's conviction. The ones who judged you are now being judged by the truth itself. They're realizing that their reputation is shaking the same way they tried to shake yours. Heaven doesn't rush. It rewinds. And right now the playback has begun. Retention hook. But the biggest twist? The people who believed the lies first are the ones now defending your name the loudest. Those same voices that said, "I don't trust them," are now whispering, "Maybe I was wrong." Those same people who joined the crowd are now stepping out of it, publicly, courageously, trying to make things right. Because when God flips the script, even the audience changes sides. Whisper tone. They thought they were exposing you, but heaven was exposing them. So don't worry about proving yourself anymore. The case is closed. The verdict is peace, and your innocence, it's trending in the spirit realm. Comment prompt. Comment. The truth is flipping the script if you can feel divine justice moving through your story right now. Because when heaven holds court, no lie survives the truth's vibration. They thought public humiliation was the end of your story, but it was just the trailer for your public redemption. They didn't know heaven was using their mockery as your marketing. When they dragged your name through the mud, they didn't realize mud eventually dries. And when it falls off, it reveals gold. They posted about you. whispered about you, laughed about you, but somewhere in the silence, the energy flipped. You didn't have to defend yourself, because truth doesn't debate, it demonstrates. Suddenly, the same mouths that cursed you are quiet. The same eyes that mocked you can't even look your way. And the same crowd that turned against you is now trying to check in, apologize, and make peace. They called it karma, but it's correction. They called it downfall, but it's divine reversal. Because heaven never forgot that moment when you cried, asking, "Why is everyone turning on me?" Now heaven answers, "So everyone could see me turn them around." They thought you'd fade into silence. Instead, your silence became the sound of justice. And here's what makes it even wilder. The truth didn't need a lawyer. It just needed timing. Heaven waited for this exact season, the divine reversal portal. The cosmic shift where energy flips, exposure begins, and every false narrative dissolves under the light of truth. This is that season, chosen one. The scales are balancing. The storm that humiliated you is now crowning you. The gossip that tried to bury you is now becoming your introduction. They wanted to erase your reputation, but all they did was write your resurrection. Because when God schedules a comeback, it always premieres in public. Retention hook. But wait till you see who comes forward next. It's someone who helped frame you, and now they're confessing. Music drops to silence. Only a heartbeat remains. That one person who lied just to fit in is now breaking under the weight of their own guilt. They can't hold it anymore. They're texting you. They're messaging mutual friends. They're saying things like, "I need to be honest. I said something I shouldn't have." That's not coincidence. That's conviction. Heaven is pressing on their conscience so heavy they can't breathe until they release the truth. Confession season has begun. And it's not just one person, it's a chain reaction. Once one truth escapes, every hidden lie starts shaking. Whisper tone, close mic. The same mouths that framed you will now free you. They thought exposure meant your end. But this is the chapter where exposure becomes your elevation. Every rumor returns to sender. Every fake story collapses under proof. Every false witness faces divine recall. This is not revenge. This is reflection. Heaven is reflecting their actions back at them in full HD. You're not the victim anymore. You're the evidence of divine order. The more they tried to erase you, the clearer your name became. Now when they mention you, there's silence in the room, because deep down, everyone knows. Comment prompt. Type confession season. If you know it's already happening, because truth is louder than gossip, and your peace is the proof. This is the start of the public reversal, chosen one. Heaven's not hiding you anymore. It's highlighting you. Chosen ones. They're not just feeling guilt. They're feeling spiritual nausea. Because when you touch a pure soul with dirty hands, the soul heals, but the sickness transfers. You healed. You released. You forgave. And the moment you did, heaven recycled the pain into protection. But them? They kept the residue. And that residue is now showing up as symptoms. Their lives are mirroring the very pain they created. Relationships falling apart, finances blocked, random anxiety and restlessness, dreams haunted by your face. It's not coincidence, it's consequence. They can't sleep right. Their chest feels heavy. Their blessings keep slipping through their hands. Because you can't poison purity without swallowing some of the venom yourself. That's not karma being cruel. That's the divine immune system activating. You were heaven's host. They were the infection. And once heaven healed you, the sickness had to leave. It just went back to its original source. Now the same energy they used to gossip is turning into anxiety. The same manipulation they projected is becoming confusion. Their own reflection feels foreign. Their own voice sounds guilty. Because spiritual sickness doesn't start in the body, it starts in the soul. And when the soul is infected with jealousy, lies, or pride, the universe sends reminders through chaos. Their world is glitching. Their opportunities stall at the last second. The peace they once faked is cracking in public. And the most painful part for them? They can't even explain why. Every attempt to rationalize the unease leads right back to you, because they didn't just hurt a person, they interfered with a prophecy. Whisper, every chosen soul comes with a divine firewall, and when attacked, that firewall bounces the virus back retention hook. And the moment they try to reach you again, not for healing but for energy, heaven will intercept the call. You'll notice it soon. A random text, a message, a fake apology. Not because they miss you, but because they miss how peaceful they felt around you. But heaven won't let that transaction happen again. Your energy is encrypted now. Your aura has new security protocols. When they try to drain you again, calls will drop. Plans will fail. The door will spiritually lock itself. Because once the healer is restored, the taker loses access. This is not cruelty. This is cosmic quarantine. The sickness must stay where it originated until it learns repentance. Comment prompt. Drop the sickness's exposure if you've seen their mask fall, because what they called peace was just suppressed guilt. Chosen one, stay clean, stay grounded. The sickness isn't your punishment, it's their awakening. Chosen one, you never defended yourself, but the universe is defending you publicly. You didn't clap back. You didn't chase validation. You simply let silence speak. And heaven turned that silence into a storm of proof. Now truth is no longer crawling, it's sprinting. Screenshots are surfacing, old messages are reappearing. People are remembering details that contradict the lies they once believed. The same ones who laughed when you cried are suddenly quiet in confusion. Because the timeline they created no longer matches reality, soft beat begins. Echo of typing, phone notification sounds. Messages are being forwarded. Screens are being scrolled. Receipts that were lost are being rediscovered. And the most divine part? You didn't have to lift a finger. The universe is doing the PR campaign for your name. You'll notice it in small waves at first. Random apologies from people you forgot existed. Unexpected vindication in group chats that once mocked you. Even strangers saying, I don't know why, but I believe you. That's not coincidence. That's correction. You see, truth doesn't need a defense team. It has gravity. And when that gravity activates, lies can't orbit anymore. They collapse. They expose themselves. Every rumor that once made you question your worth is now being replayed with missing pieces filled in. And the audience finally sees the real story. People are realizing your downfall wasn't failure, it was framing. Your silence wasn't guilt, it was divine strategy. And your distance wasn't arrogance, it was protection. Whisper, they thought you were hiding, but you were just being preserved for proof. Retention. Hook. And when that happens, don't seek revenge, because your glow-up is the verdict. You are the evidence of innocence. Your peace is proof. Your blessings are Exhibit A. Every opportunity returning, every door reopening, every glow in your aura, all testify louder than words. You didn't win because you fought harder. You won because you stayed aligned when the world wanted you to lose your light. Now, the same people who doubted you will watch you rise in disbelief. Not because you changed, but because truth finally caught up. So don't clap back. Don't explain. Don't even repost the proof. Let your calm be the confession they can't unhear. Let your success narrate the case file heaven just unsealed. Because when divine justice closes a case, the only sound left is applause from angels. Comment prompt. Comment. My glow is my justice. If you're walking in peace now, because what they meant for exposure became your elevation. The case is closed, chosen one. The truth has entered the room. Chosen one. This exposure isn't random. It's aligned with the truth frequency gate, opening right now in your timeline. Heaven waited for this frequency because truth can't bloom in chaos. It blooms in divine precision. And now the vibration of truth is so strong, it's forcing every hidden lie to collapse under its own frequency. This is the era of public proof, the time when heaven flips false narratives and the same energy that buried you begins unearthing your crown. In astrology, this phase mirrors the Saturn correction window, a rare cosmic alignment when everything false must return to its source. It's the celestial audit of karma. Hidden evidence resurfaces, mass fall, and integrity wins back its crown. That's why people can't sleep. That's why truth is suddenly trending. That's why guilt feels heavier and silence feels sacred. Because truth frequencies are rising, and guilt vibrates too low to hide anymore. The energy field of the earth is purging deception like the body purges toxins. The ones who manipulated timelines through lies are now being pulled back by the same clock they distorted. Their own stories are unraveling in public, not by exposure from others, but by frequency mismatch. Their energy can't fake peace anymore. It's showing symptoms of truth deprivation. Meanwhile, you, the chosen one, are stabilizing. You're not reacting the way you used to. You're not explaining. You're not chasing closure. Because your spirit knows. Truth doesn't need a defense team. It has alignment on its side. You've entered the frequency of restoration, where what was stolen vibrates its way back to its rightful owner. Jobs, reputations, friendships, finances, they all carry energetic tags. And those tags are now lighting up saying, "Return to sender." Whisper, you are not chasing justice. Justice is orbiting back to you. Retention hook. And the wildest part? The very energy that framed you is now being forced to clear your name. That's right. The same mouths that lied will now reveal the truth, not because they want to, but because the vibration of guilt has become unbearable. The energy they used to twist your story is now twisting theirs. They'll start confessing in subtle ways: a nervous laugh, a random apology, a sudden breakdown, or even a post that accidentally exposes what they once hid. That's the universe pressing play on the cosmic correction file. They thought they were powerful, but they were just instruments in a divine remix. Heaven is producing your comeback with their confession as background vocals. Because truth has rhythm, and it's finally syncing with your timeline. You'll notice coincidences stacking. People you never expected will start validating your story, confirming your innocence, backing your energy. These are the signs of alignment. Not luck, not pity, but spiritual balance restoring itself. Chosen one, this isn't revenge, it's rhythm. The universe is a symphony, and every false note must correct itself before the song ends. And this next movement, it's yours. Comment prompt. Type truth frequency activated if you feel your energy stabilizing again, because what once drained you is now defending you. Soft fade out. Cosmic hum blends into silence, heartbeat slows. This is the cosmic shift, chosen one. Your truth isn't just being heard, it's being broadcasted. Chosen one. They wanted people to hate you, but heaven turned their hate into headlines for your comeback. Every rumor was free marketing. Every insult was unpaid promotion. Every attempt to bury you became a press release for your resurrection. They didn't realize you can't cancel what's called. When they spoke your name in malice, they planted your seed in the soil of destiny. And now that same soil is blooming with proof that divine favor doesn't need approval. It just needs endurance. Because once you survive defamation, your destiny becomes undeniable. You'll soon start to see the signs. Unexpected recognition. People mentioning you in rooms you've never entered. Sudden opportunities returning. The ones that ghosted you are circling back with apologies. People wanting to work with you, not against you. Because even your presence now feels prophetic. The tables have turned, the tone has changed, and every delay they laughed at is now being repaid with divine acceleration. Whisper, they tried to humiliate you publicly, but heaven waited until the audience was full to begin your reward. They thought the season of exposure was your ending, but it was your edit point. God wasn't deleting you, He was refining your highlight reel, and now the same spotlight that once burned your image will illuminate your purpose. You were never being punished, you were being positioned. Positioned for visibility, positioned for favor. Positioned for recognition that can't be undone. Retention hook. But here's the twist. Your next blessing will be delivered through the same channel that tried to destroy you. Soft pause, deep tone. Yes, the same platform that mocked you will publish your victory. The same person who lied will recommend your name. The same crowd that canceled you will repost your success story. Because heaven doesn't waste irony, it weaponizes it. And when divine justice wants to make a point, it blesses you in front of the people who doubted you. They'll have to watch the reward they tried to block pass right through their hands, straight to yours. Not out of vengeance, but to prove that truth always cashes its check. Chosen one, this is your public reward era. When silence turns into applause and pain converts to purpose, every no becomes divine redirection, and every delay transforms into destiny delivery. Comment prompt: drop my comeback is divine proof if you're ready to receive it. Because your rise isn't revenge, it's revelation. The stage is set, chosen one. The audience that watched your fall will now witness your coronation. Chosen one. This was never about your destruction. It was about demonstration. You were framed, yes, but only so heaven could frame your next chapter. They thought they were painting your downfall, but God was just using their lies as background for your divine portrait. They thought they took your credibility, but all they did was give God the stage. Every rumor became a microphone. Every betrayal became lighting for your breakthrough. And every silent tear became a lens through which heaven focused your story. Soft pause in whisper tone. Now the truth isn't whispered anymore, it's broadcasted. The liars aren't powerful, they're panicking. And your name isn't a rumor, it's a revelation. You were never the villain in this story. You were the prophecy unfolding in real time. They tried to edit your script, but heaven owns the copyright. They tried to mute your truth, but divine timing pressed unmute. Whisper, they're sick to their stomach because they finally realized you were never the villain. You were the prophecy, and now heaven is about to perform the great reversal. Those who mocked you will watch you. Those who doubted you will quote you. Those who framed you will now frame your success story. Your story will no longer be told through rumors. It will be retold through results. Your silence is now sacred proof that God doesn't need noise to prove his point. The same crowd that laughed will soon ask, how did they do it? And heaven will whisper back, I did. Promise. By the next moon cycle, those who lied will have to publicly watch your reward. They won't just hear about it, they'll witness it. Not as punishment, but as proof. Because this is the prophecy of reversal, where pain becomes platform, rejection becomes redirection, and your tears turn into testimony. You didn't lose your name. Heaven rebranded it. You didn't lose your story. God just changed the narrator. And now, every vibration of truth you carry is rewriting timelines in your favor. Final call to action. Comment. My name is cleared in heaven and earth if you're claiming this prophecy. Like this video, share it with another chosen one, and subscribe, because the next prophecy reveals the 3 days after exposure, when the universe rewards the vindicated.